guys so much for tuning in to yet another orchid adventure with, of course, me, Maria Young. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm starting my second orchid collection. I actually had an orchid collection, I would say, about like 12 years ago that unfortunately had to stop abruptly. Trust me, very painful time of my life, but I will share that with you in another video. Definitely don't want to make this too long. But anyway, so I am fully diving into my passion of orchid collecting again. So today what I did, I ran here, there, and everywhere, just really getting some items that I needed. And of course, I discovered something that I definitely want to share with you. I think it's going to be a big money saving technique for you guys, especially the beginning orchid growers, or even the orchid growers that are just kind of still learning as they go with their, hands-on experience and wanting to learn their own formula of doing things. So definitely going to be a great tip for you guys. So stay tuned. Make sure you watch the end of this video. But anyways, so here I am, folks, and I have some of the main things that I really wanted. Of course, I was very limited in my budget, so I had to be very cautious because Valentine's Day is coming up, as you guys know. And here, surprisingly, there is going to be an orchid show for Valentine's Day. Isn't that wonderful how a plan comes together? So unfortunately for hubby dear, he's gonna have a very unexpected surprise. But anyways, okay, so these are the items that I got. First off, I have this orchid mix here that I really needed badly, and this is actually under Better Grow. I've used them before and they're very good, never have had a problem with them. And this is kind of a generic mix. It says here it's good for Cattleyas, Phalaenopsis, Dendrobiums, Cymbidiums, Oncidiums. So basically all of your main orchids these are good for, and it's basically your bark, a little bit of coal material here, which you regularly commonly find. Let me see if I can open this up for you here. Wow! Yeah. So here, folks, I don't know if you can see. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah. Well, anyways, this is the mix. And what I like to do, folks, I actually like to add sphagnum moss in there as well, because as you guys know, bark can kind of dry up fairly quick. So I just add some sphagnum moss sparingly here, there, and everywhere, and I allow that to be put in the mix so that it can, just add a little bit more moisture or absorb more moisture for the orchid, and that has always worked well for me. So that's just a tip. You guys can take it or leave it, up to you. So anyways, got the bark. Definitely need that as an orchid grower. Now what I also got is this coconut husk liner. Fabulous, folks. Absolutely fabulous, because you can use this for an assortment of different orchid displays. What I like to do with this, folks, is I like to take your normal containers that you would not normally use as a display because they have openings and crevices and just large spaces that would allow the medium to come out. Well, this liner will trap the medium, so it will not come out of your container, but it will also still allow the water to flow freely, so definitely good drainage for your orchids as well. What I've used for this, folks, I put these in bird cages. I mean, I lined the bottom, and I just put the medium in, put my orchids in, and they have made such wonderful displays. You can hang them in trees, you can hang them on your patio. I've always loved them. Always a center focal piece, and I always get compliments off of that. So definitely a good idea. Also, I've taken waste baskets, wire waste baskets with very beautiful designs in them. Put this in there. Voila, a very creative display. And what I have here, folks, is something that I think is very unique, and I'm gonna make this as one of my orchid display containers. This is actually a vintage nutcracker. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before, but very neat. Normally used for cracking open nuts, but in this case what I'm gonna do, since this already has a base, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the liner, according to the size of the side of the actual container. And I'm going to put the liner inside of here so that the medium will, of course, stay in the container. And this should make quite an interesting display for my orchids. Don't you think? Don't you think? So you see how good those orchid liners can be, or those husk liners can be? Okay, and of course I got some fertilizer because I needed some, and I'm using Miracle Grow. I have a lot of different plants in my garden, and I've always used Miracle Grow. Never have had a problem. My plants are happy and healthy, so definitely if it's not broke, don't fix it. I know it's very commercial, but this is what I like, folks. Now this is a Miracle Grow that I happened upon, and I thought it was very interesting because it's already mixed and ready to go. All you have to do is pump the spray and you're good to go, folks. So I definitely will tell you how this works. I'm going to start using this as soon as possible, so definitely we'll give you an update on that as well. Okay, so now this is like the grand finale because I'm very, very, very excited about this one, folks. I have seen these before, but I never really purchased any, and I'm kind of like bopping myself in the head for not, because now that I think about it, you know, when I first started my orchid collection, I went through a lot of trial and error process, and I've lost a lot of orchids along the way, along with a lot of money along the way. And folks, when you get orchids, what you have to understand is the simple fact that you're taking a plant, an exotic plant, out of its natural environment, usually in tropical rainforest, usually in foreign lands, and you're taking that out of its natural element and you're trying to bring it into your element. You're trying to accommodate it by, of course, giving it its most familiar climate, its most familiar lighting, and of course medium, and you're really trying to create as similar to an atmosphere as it would be in nature, and of course you guys know that can be quite tricky. So again, you will lose some along the way, and of course, you know what, my method to my madness, sometimes I think that some orchids just don't like you no matter what you do. So again, you will experience some casualties, unfortunately, along the way. So folks, this is going to be such a money-saving technique for the ones that like to learn as they go, really physically hands-on type of growers. And of course, you can read all the manuals that you want to, read online, do whatever you want to, but still there's going to be cases where you may lose some, whether it be through orchid sickness, you know, bacteria or fungus or whatever the case may be, improper lighting, improper medium, whatever, you're gonna lose some along the way, unfortunately. Boo-hoo. And if you haven't, thumbs up to you because you're very, very fortunate. But anyways, on to the biggest, nicest discovery ever. Okay, these are what I call orchid in a bag. Okay, orchids in a bag, come get yours while they last. Okay, anyways, these are orchids in a bag, and they actually had two sizes. I picked the larger sizes, and the smaller sizes had younger plants, but you know, unless you're a person that really likes challenges and really likes to raise up little baby plants, you guys should know that it is tricky to do that, and a little bit harder. So I'm just not keen on that. That's just not my forte, so I don't do it. But guys, these are orchids that I picked out, and I really filtered through them and looked really, really hard, picked the best, the healthiest, the biggest plants that I could find. These are actually Cattleya orchids. Oh, I added 3 to my bunch. I only had 2, so this now makes 5. And as you guys know, folks, Cattleyas can be quite a pretty penny for each individual plant. It's easy to purchase a plant starting out at about 30-40 bucks for one plant. Now, of course, this is a little bit smaller, but I would still say for each of these plants, it would probably be about $20. So again, $11.98, almost 50% off. I mean, wow, great deal, right? And it appears to me, I did pick the biggest plants, but they all look like they're of blooming age. Now, don't quote me on that because I'm not quite sure, but I definitely think that they can start blooming. At least I hope they can. I'm going to finger cross on that, folks. But indeed, 50% off. Now, here's the biggest kicker, folks, okay? This is what really, really excited me, and you know what, I bopped my head. I mean, right now I'm like, bump, 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 because I wish I would have thought of that right when I first started my collection, my very first one. Because wow, I would have saved so much money in regards to a lot of the trial and errors where I lost plants. Because guys, if you check around your garden centers, check around in your area, because there's certain ones that provide a year warranty on their plants. So meaning that if anything were to happen to your plants, they will replace your plants, or they'll give you a refund where you can buy more plants. Guys, did you hear what I said? They will replace your plants, or they'll give you your money back to buy new plants. So that means in a year's time, if any plants die at all for whatever reason, you'll get a replacement plant, okay? Do you guys see where you guys can save lots and lots of money? And that alleviates a whole lot of pressure on you in the regards to, you know, really trying out new and different methods or your own formula. Definitely, you know, I think it's a great technique for any orchid lover or any orchid grower. These plants in a bag, folks. I truly recommend it. I have started my adventure in this, and I hope you guys will too, because these are lovely plants, half the price, and of course 1 year warranty. You can't beat that with a bad, and as a matter of fact, you cannot say no. Don't say no, guys. But the stores that I've seen the 1 year warranty is Home Depot and also Lowe's. So just really check around in your area. So that's about it, folks. I definitely don't want to take too much of your time, but I am going to do a part 2 of these orchids in a bag, because I definitely want to show you exactly the quality of plants that you will get. Now, of course, let me just do a side note, because these are Cattleyas, but they had an assortment of different orchids in a bag. I mean, they had your Phalaenopsis, they had your they didn't have any Cymbidiums, at least I didn't see any. But they did have your Encyclias, they did have your Vandas, Oncidiums. I mean, they had just a whole, ooh, that wasn't good. I'm sorry about that, folks. Scratch, erase, rewind. But they just had such an assortment of different orchids, so definitely check it out. But that is about it, folks. Please stay tuned to my part 2 sequel to Plants in a Bag. And of course, if you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs way up. And if you want to see more of these videos, please be sure to subscribe. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please be sure to post those as well, because I definitely love to conversate. As you can see, I love to talk. So definitely I will respond to you guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another orchid adventure. Aww, aren't they so cute, my bundle of joys? Aww.